Well, hello. So far, I'd like to say hi to KY Redneck, LG Bass,
Hello,
and tonight we have Mr. Catfish Hammer.
how's everybody doing?
So, if hey, Big Wrench Catfishing, welcome in, bud. Uh, hey, Lance, how you doing? I knew they'd start coming in. So, hey, Dave Garcher, 351. Tonight we will be asking Mr. Catfish Hammer questions. Maurice Cason, Kevin Fishes, River Rats. He's saying hi, Catfish Hammer.
Hello, everybody.
Paula Smith, how you doing? So, um, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a retired welder mechanic. I've been fishing all my life. Been pretty much everywhere fishing. Been as far as Canada. The only place I ain't been, always wanted to go was Alaska for halibut fishing, but maybe someday. Do a lot of catfishing, mainly catfishing. I do crappie fish and bluegill fish, but my 98% of the time it's catfish. Mainly up here, we got channel cats and flatheads where I live. Mainly, I pick target flatheads. Uh,
So, what would be your biggest crappie you caught so far?
in my lifetime, I probably
Yeah.
about 2.5 pounder, three. But you're talking, back in the 80s and 70s when nobody carried scales or weighed fish. You know what I mean? Back then, when I grew up, we never weighed fish. But I've caught I know a 2.5 pounder, and that's been probably, I'm going to say, probably in the 80s, 88, 89, somewhere around that. Caught some decent ones up here. Caught 12. You catch 12, 13-inch ones up here. Probably the biggest flathead I caught was probably about 89, and that was out of a river in Ohio. And that was probably, all I know is when I held it up, it was from here, with my neck down to the ground, and I was used to be 6'1", but I've had a few surgeries, so I'm kind of shrunk. But that was back then, and just like I said, I caught it in the river, picked it up, and I was by myself, so nobody took no pictures or nothing. Back then you just didn't have the opportunity to have scales. It ain't like it is now. Get on the internet, buy you a scale, order one, have one delivered. I mean, you didn't have Bass Pro Shops back then. You had little mom and pops
Oh
bait
yeah.
shop. You know what I mean? Bait
Yeah.
shop back then, they had night crawlers and minnows.
Uh huh.
So you didn't have, you couldn't
Night
go,
crawlers, minnows, the red wigglers.
yeah, that, yep. Now, I live close to, within about a half hour, 40 minutes, a real good bait shop been in business for as long as I can remember, called Hamilton Bait and Tackle. They carry live bluegill, they carry a lot of live fish, but they distribute it around this area, live bait and stuff. But I've been fishing all my life. I've crappie fish in Canada, muskie fish up there. Something I want to do is to get back in muskie fishing because where I live close to Brookville Lake, and they've been putting uh, muskie in there. They've been catching 48-inch muskie out there, which that's a pretty big muskie. My main thing is catfishing, and it's mainly, I go catfishing. It's to teach my kids, my grandkids, which all my kids and my grandkids, even including my wife, love the fish. I mean, they all love the fish, but that's how I raised them. We do pretty good. We have a good time when we go. I
So
just
what?
this, Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you're all right. Go ahead.
So what got you into fishing?
Probably my uncles and my cousins. My dad would take us fishing, and he hated fishing, but he wanted us to learn. So we used to go camping with my family. We'd go to Canada and camp the fish. My dad would take us up there on vacation, and we went with our family because my whole family liked to fish. We just growed up on the creeks and the rivers fishing. Why do I like it's fishing? It's relaxing. It's enjoyment. Watch my kids catch a fish. I enjoy watching them catch fish. And there's nothing like cooking a nice fish and bringing it in. Even though like an ultralight or fishing for big catfish, catching a nice catfish. It ain't nothing like I like fishing rivers and catching catfish. It's a lot nicer. And I do like flatheads better than blue cats. Don't get me wrong, blue cats are not. But it seems like flatheads just love to fight. They go down and they stay down and they just don't want to come back up.
No. You have a fight just to get them up, get their heads up.
Yeah, especially when they're in the rivers. They do not want to come up. I've caught a lot of flatheads in my time. I just got back into it probably, I've been retired, 5 years. So I've been back into it about 4 years. Because when I worked, I traveled all over the country. Didn't have much time to fish because I was gone, got out of town, gone 3 weeks at a time, maybe a month at a time, come home for a couple of days, spend time with the wife and the kids, and just go back out again. But now, where I'm retired, that's all I do. Me and my boy fishes a lot together. Me and my daughter-in-law, my grandkids, my wife. All my kids love to fish. I've been teaching my son and been teaching my grandkids how to do it, and my daughter, and trying to pass it down. When I growed up, you didn't have fish finders.
No.
You didn't have a fish finder. You got in a John boat and you put it little 9.9 Johnson or Evinrude, whatever it was, and you put it out there and you went out there. I mean, I remember being up in big lakes we would carry a John boat up in Canada and go fishing, and they'd be my dad and my uncles, my brothers, and we would carry a John boat with a little 9.9 and walk 2 or 3 miles to the lake just to fish that day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a good experience. I'll never forget that. I thank my dad and my parents for giving that to me, and I want my kids to experience that.
Oh yeah,
I love to fish.
Good.
This past year's kind of been a bad situation. My parents passed away, and I had a son pass away, so kind of been stuff going on in my life, and kind of put off didn't fish as much. But this year, definitely going to fish. Getting ready to happen in March. Going to do some crappie fishing. Well, I crappie fish, also catfish. So I just don't do one species at one time. I got a lake that's up here beside me. It's got some big channel cats in it. Some nice channel cats. Ain't nothing to catch a 12 or 15, 20 pound channel cat out of it.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt for a minute. Everybody in chat, let's keep Robin C in prayers. She would be here tonight, but she's in a hospital getting her right leg checked out. So she's having some medical issues right now. So let's keep her in our thoughts and prayers. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, a couple of months ago, about 3 months ago, I started tying flies to catch red ear bluegills, and catch, which my better half, she's a bluegill. She catches bluegills like it's nothing. I mean, she's real good at it. She catches my bait, me and my son's bait fish. My daughter-in-law does too, and my daughter does. My daughter's a pretty good fisherman. So is my son. And really, all of them are. Even my grandson, my oldest grandson, Jonathan. I mean, last time we went bluegill fishing, I bet she caught 35 or 40 bluegill, length of my hand. I mean, that long. Probably 8 to 10, 12-inch bluegill, big monsters, as big, thick as my hand. I bet you they was every bit of almost if they were not a pound, they was pretty much a pound. We was fishing and he found a spot and they were on their beds and he just was tearing them up, one right after another. You know, he was out fishing me and everybody else there. He made everybody look bad, which is not a bad thing because he enjoyed himself.
Oh, hey, if you're fishing and you're enjoying it and you're catching it, and no one else is, enjoy it because that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's like my better half. She's gonna be in a tournament, a ladies tournament or something coming up. River Rat, that's what she goes by on Facebook, and
River rats.
yeah, she's she can catch. She's fished all her life too. It's something that we enjoy together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you're married and your wife enjoys it, and then your kids enjoy it, then it's nice. You know what I mean? Which I've had neck surgery and 3 back surgery, so I'm not allowed to go out by myself on the boat because I just don't move like I used to. I mean, not agile and stuff like that.
Oh, I understand that.
You know what I mean? But I love to fish. That's why my kids usually go with me. My son goes with me a lot and helps me. So does my daughter and my wife. I mean, we enjoy it. I love catching catfish. You know, we went, I think the last, really, I guess, maybe it was last year, end of last year.
No.
And we went up here, the water that feeds the lake up north. I ain't gonna say where it's at. We went up there, and she, as fast as I could get them off the hook, she was catching 5 to 6 pound channel cat. She caught like 30 channel cat in about 12 minutes. We had 6 poles out, and as fast as she could reel them in, and she threw them back out. I mean, we just tearing them up. But that happens in this one spot we go to in the evening. It's just loaded with channel cats. But guys tell me it's got flatheads in it. This year be the first time I go up there and fish for flathead. I'm gonna hit it hard and heavy and actually see, my problem is where I live at, it's the connection on the phone, man. Indiana is one of the worst states that you'll ever go to for phone connection. Like where I live at, I don't even have phone connection. I have to use Wi-Fi for my phone.
Oh, wow.
Indiana, that's just like my cable. You know, people's got cable TV and stuff. You know, we don't have cable. We got phone lines for our internet. We don't even have an option of getting cable. I mean, that's just how it is. Indiana is like, it's just how in some parts of Indiana is.
I gotta go back and find the question that was asked for you in here.
Oh, okay.
Big Ranch wants to know, Daryl, what kind of boat?
I got a 79 Pro Craft bass boat. I've had it for a while. It's got a 115 Johnson on it. It loves the gas, but it will scream. And it's solid as a brick.
Now, did you transfer that over from a bass boat to a catfishing boat?
Yeah. I fished both of them out, but the back's set up for catfish. It's a 16 and a half footer. I'm going to say it's 89, 90 inches wide. It's a wide boat, good, stable. What I did when I bought it, I said, well, I'm going to start crappie fishing. I'm going to do some crappie fishing, and I got a good deal on it. And I bought it, and now I use it all the time, and, you know, so we crappie fish. When we started catfishing, I lived in Kentucky, and I moved to Indiana to help take care of my mom. Before I did that, we was fishing Licking River all the time. And
so you like fishing the Licking River, huh?
I like the Licking River, but I sure wouldn't eat nothing out of it. I could. You don't want to know why, but I wouldn't.
I'm pretty well sure I know why.
Yeah, it comes from. I know where it comes from, and see, it runs south to north. That river does. You know what I mean? It runs. But the problem is when you get in Kentucky in certain areas, they've been draining their sewer, their toilets. I hate to say it, for,
Mm-hmm.
for hundreds of years in the Licking River. And I mean, I can drive down there and go along Licking River, and you can go take your boat in there. And if you go far enough down it, which you're going south when you go down it, you can see where it run where it's running in. You know what I mean? Because the color, you can always tell the color. The real
Right.
dark green. But it's
Yeah.
got some nice fish. It's got nice channel cat and blues in it. It's got flatheads in it too.
I know you. I know you love catfishing, and we have a few people in here that also like tying jigs.
Yeah, I got some. Actually, I just tied some right here today.
Yeah, and I know you did one. I watched you do. It was tying a fly.
Yeah,
That video was fun, but I
I'm
think
all new at this. I don't know if you can see that. This is made out of foam.
hold on. Let me give you a big screen on that one.
If you look, this has got like a foam body.
Yeah.
It's got legs on it. I don't know if you can see it real good. I made that today. This has got a foam body. These are what this one is. This is the top water one.
Right.
Throw out and it'll float. Well, this one will sink down a little bit. These are bluegills. When
Yeah.
you're fishing, this will float down, but this one will hold it up. This yellow looking one will. This something to buy time. And you know what? When you start going out there buying bait and flies, these things
Those,
cost money.
those flies ain't cheap.
No, they're not cheap, you know. And then there's another one. I don't know. It's hard to see these little ones. These are little ones.
Might
These
have
are
to
for
put your hand
bluegills.
behind it.
We got nice bluegills up here too, where I'm at.
Oh yeah.
Nice ones. I mean, big one. And here's another one. It's hard to see them in this
Yeah.
light on here. Let's see if that helps out a little bit. See, them's got weight on it. My cat's messing with my toes. And here's some more. I've just started learning how to do these. I like the little ones like this because they look more like a bug. You know what I mean? When you catch a fish. And like here's some jigs I tied up.
Okay.
I mean, I got a bunch of different ones. I just got into it, and it actually, I love it. I love doing that. Which, when I worked, that's what I did. I specialized in stainless steel. So I don't know if you can see this, but these are mainly right here are crappie and bluegill jigs is what they're for. You know, like these right here. These are. Let me get one of these out. A couple of these out. These are hard to see. Like, and my kids love to fish. These are they're hard to see because of my light. That is like what they call a fly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Something
like
like
a horse fly
flies.
there.
Yeah, like a dry fly. These are actually, these are sink because the little eyes are what they call barbells and they'll sink. I got into it. I love tying them. I mean, I've got all kinds of them. I mean, different types. There's so many like this in here. I got like the flying ant one. So I just got into this. You know, it's tough to do. Now, see, that's a little flying ant. I don't know if you can see it. It's got like little black legs on it and the little wings. I kind of got it, you know, something I got into it, you know, and I do it. My kids can use them, and then you know, I got a bunch of them here. I don't even know how many I got. I got squirrel tail ones. I got deer tails. I got all kinds of different materials. I did enjoy doing it. It's kind of relaxing, and you get your thoughts together, and you know, when I'm not able to get out and do a lot of stuff like I used to. I mean, I used to be a real active person, and like this, they call this these are pretty simple, but they're supposed to imitate a baby carp. They're called mop jigs. If you can see that.
Yeah.
That's a mop jig. It's actually made. It's the simplest thing you ever seen. And you go to Dollar Tree and you buy one of these, and that's what you make it out of. Just simple. I mean, it's pretty wild. But you know, I got all kinds of them I've made. I mean, there's different types. You know, you got the grasshopper. See if I can get a grasshopper out here. Now you can buy kits to make these, but to me, I don't know if I'd do that, but that's me. Some people, they buy the kits to make them with because it's more easy. They sell them. You can buy them. Different places sell them. You know, that's what everybody, what everybody's. I assume to try to make it by hand. My cat's in here driving me crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, like kissing. Now that's made out of deer. It's got deer belly hair on it. And the deal is with deer hair, as close you get to the skin, it's got it's hole in it, and it'll flare out when you tighten it up.
Okay.
And then here's this one. See, I like the ones that look like a bug because when you catch fish, you catch them on natural stuff.
Right.
It actually looks like what's in the water. You know, I mean, you can catch them on fake stuff and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. Like I used to bass fish a lot in the 80s. But like bluegill and bluegill mainly, they love bugs. Crappie, they're a minnow nut. They love anything to do with minnows. I got all kinds. I kind of make them up my different types myself. You know what I mean? And then I watch guys on video. The mainly thing I watch videos for is to watch how people tied, because I never did it before, and that's what I watched them. Then I just created something by myself. Like there's different, you know, all kinds. These I'll never sell. I'll just make them for myself and my kids. People make them to sell. And I can't wait to, you know, right now, just like I told you earlier, we got ice still in places in the water where I would fish normally, and I'm waiting for it to thaw out so I can go test some of these out. Actually, I've caught a couple crappie on the other crappie jigs I made up. You know, I mean, it as you first start out, get one thing I'll tell you to do. Go if you want to tie flies, go buy a cheap vise first. See if you like it. I bought this at Field and Stream, I think it was. I bought a kit, kind with pretty much everything to tie with, but the string. The bobber wasn't worth 5 cents that you put the string on. I bought it to see how I liked it, and I tied the first 3 weeks on it. Then I went out and bought a peak rotary vise. I went on the internet, watched and see what the best ones out there. So I bought. I mean, they got them out there cost $900. I don't think that makes you a better tire if you got a $900 vise. I bought this one. It does fine for me. It's called a peak rotary vise. It's perfect for me. I love doing it. I mean,
Now, how long you been tying flies for?
I started it, I'm thinking that November last year.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know, one thing in my life is I've done a lot in my life. I've been an auto mechanic, electrician, and welder, mechanic. Anything I wanted to ever do, I could do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. I don't know why. I'm just natural. I can do stuff like that.
I know when I watched you tie that fly in that video, you acted like it was not even a problem.
No, it's pretty easy to me now. I picked it up pretty fast. No, the hardest ones is because I had surgery on my neck, and I got like some fingers, like these 3 fingers here are numb. This one stays numb, my thumb. I kind of have an issue. You get my fingers. used big wrenches all my life and turn wrenches. Then I TIG weld, and when you TIG weld, it's a lot of
Yeah,
elbows, shoulders, and
it messes with your.
you just wear mechanics out. You wear your body, my arms, shoulders, elbows,
Uh-huh.
everything, wrist. It wears it out, so it makes it kind of hard. And I also got pretty big hands. I mean,
Right, big
they're
hands and
smaller now as I got older, but at one time I used to wear a size 22 wedding ring.
yeah,
But they're smaller now, but that
yeah,
makes it a little hard. But other than that, I mean, if you stick at that, it's a great hobby. It costs a little bit of money buying the material. I ain't gonna lie, but you can pick some of the material up. I can't remember who it was. You can pick some stuff up, like at Hobby Lobby, different places, Walmart's. I mean, there's different places you can pick stuff up cheap. Like the foam, I think I paid 99 cents for it at Hobby Lobby, and you buy it by the sheets. You know, they make foam that you can buy, fly tying foam, but foam is foam. The difference between tie fly and foam is probably the how it's made. It's probably got more of a glue base to it. But like this, I think this was 99 cents. You know how many flies you can tie out of this?
you
Unreal.
can tag a
Yeah,
couple hundred out there.
yeah. But a lot of people they make different types. I just started getting in making poppers too. Starting to learn how to make poppers, flies. I just got into it. I made a
I,
couple.
I can't find anybody that can tie a nymph.
Nymphs.
Yeah,
I got some nymphs I tie. I'm not the nymphs are more for fly rod, and my problem is I could fly rod. I did it years ago when I was a young man. Used to go to a place called Mad River in Ohio. It's full of trout. Got trout in it up in northeast Ohio. But the problem is there, I can't the fly rod. I'm sorry for getting that. The fly rod is it where's to use the whole body and your back. I
oh
have a
yeah,
hard time standing a period of time. And
no,
like these, I tied these. I just started tying these. These are actually poppers. I'll show them to you.
yeah, they're like a little cork head with a
Yeah,
feather behind it.
I just started tying these. Yeah. Problem is where my internet is. This internet we got, just like I said, my internet runs on phone cables. If anybody knows about phone, that was the old internet back in the early '90s when it first hit. Like that right there. I don't see. It's hard to see. Let me hang on a minute.
Well, you're doing good.
Well, if you put it on white, you can see a little bit better. See how that looks?
Oh
That's
yeah,
a little
that looks
pop.
good.
I've just started making them. My problem is I gotta go get me a what they call it's a cutter, a little round cutter that you get with a hammer to get the little round part here, a little bit better looking when you cut them. Because when I did when I where I worked at, I did everything. I was a field supervisor. I worked all over the country. Enjoyed my job. I do miss it.
Now, everybody, if you do not have Catfish Hammer, please go over there and hook set him, subscribe to him, and watch some of his videos and give him a thumb up.
I'm gonna start doing more videos. My problem is when I do a video, it takes three. If I do an 8-minute video, it takes an hour and a half to load up. That's how slow my internet is. I mean, if we got I think we got 8 gigs, and they say that's fast. But if you look, these are poppers. What I got to do, I got to work a little bit better on the heads here. But these are my first ones. They'll be fine. You know what I mean? Because see, my boy said he wants a fly fish, so I told him I teach him how and build some jigs for him. But see, we have a river over here. They stock it with trout. I mean, over at Brookville, what they call a spillway, they stock it with trout. And which he'll fish that. But me, I'm using to catch bluegills. We're loaded over with bluegills. But my wife, I can take my wife up here. Her name's Tammy. I can take her. I'll take her and drop her off at a certain area up here to catch me and my son bluegills for catfishing. And in 10 minutes, she's already caught so many that I'm like, we don't need that many. She tears them up. She just knows how to catch them. Some people do.
How many flies do you normally go through when you go fishing?
The last time I went, I lost 3, but my problem was this is where I fished that last year about this time. And what happened was there was a tree laying down, but somebody got in there and messed with it. So now you could see it before, but now it went under the water, so you can't see it. Which I lost 2 then, and I lost a couple almost slip bobbers with minnows on them. But that's normal. But that's because I was trying to get in where I was catching the crappie before. But what happened was that the tree had moved, and I just couldn't see it no more because the water was so murky. But if I could see the tree, and I didn't have enough long enough rod, if I'd had it like a 10-foot or a 12-foot crappie rod, I could have set them out there, put it out there, and just dropped it straight down and jigged it up and down. But I was having to throw it out there. Now put my boat in there and get right on top of it. But you take this right here. It takes about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to make. I got right there. I probably ain't got a nickel in it. Maybe a nickel, maybe 10 cents I got in it. Because you get the thread. You take the thread you get. Let me grab a piece of thread here. This is $3, different types of thread. But that thread is like, I know it don't sound like a lot, but it's I don't even say, it's probably like 3 or 4, maybe 5 yards, but you take 5 yards on a roll of thread and you're only wrapping around a little thing, it lasts a long time. You just don't run out instant. It's something somebody wants to do. There's different ones. You can get on YouTube. What I did is I got on there and watched, and I just started creating my own different design. Like some people, they might build this with red legs. This in here with red legs. They might build it with green legs. They might not put a pink on top of it. On the top of it, they might use a different color. Everybody does a different way. I got all kinds of these regular jigs. I got squirrel jigs, raccoon jigs, marabou jigs. Like this, that's a squirrel jig, squirrel tail jig.
Hello, Kosha. Hello, Chrissy.
Hello.
Catfish Dog, welcome. 205.
Hello, everybody. Like this, there's all kinds of different ones you can tie. Like here. Now that right there is a deer tail.
Right.
It's a little bit stiffer, but that's what that is. Which that costs you, you can buy, I think, see right here, I bought this at Bass Pro. I think it was $5, which I've chewed it up. But that's a deer tail, different colors. I think it costs like $6, $5-6. Then marabou, like this marabou, I think this was $5. I bought this up in Indianapolis at a well, I think they come from Bass Pro.
River Rats wants to know who gathers your deer tails.
Who gathered my deer tails?
Uh-huh.
She gathered my squirrel tails.
That's who asked the question, was your wife.
Yeah. She wanted to know where squirrel tails. She gathered squirrel tails, and some guy brought me one. I got a couple squirrel tails that dried out over here. Thinking about dyeing them. I ain't done it yet. Actually, they're back over by my aquarium.
So you got an awesome wife that helps you gather the.
Oh yeah, my kids. I have great kids and a great wife. I got great kids and a great wife and a great daughter-in-law. Great daughter, great brother. They're my deer squirrel tail. There's one. There's another one. You know how many things you can make out of one of them?
You can make a couple hundred.
Yeah, you can make a lot out of them. And what's nice about them, I don't, how much they cost. If you go buy these in stores like Bass Pro, and plus there's a place up here where I go, Brookville, that I go like buy night crawlers and minnows. They got them there where a guy hand ties them. Well, he's wanting $3 and $4 for them. Okay, well, just like I said, all you got is your time in it, and you just like I said, you can make so many out of like right here. I probably made 6 out of this, and look how much more I got left. You know what I mean? This deer tail here,
Yeah.
these deer tails, I've probably made 20 out of them. Look how much more I got left.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If you would want to do it on your own, I'm saying it's a little. You don't take your time. Don't get no hurry. Don't get frustrated. If you get frustrated, it'll
It'll eat you up.
it'll eat you alive. You just got to have patience because when you get there tired, doing a little bitty small hooks like these, I mean, you just got to take your time. You know, it's just how it is. You know,
Your wife
don't be
says-
patient.
your
Some people
wife
ain't. I'm a patient person, but you got to remember, I was a field supervisor for a long time, so you get patient when you deal with people.
Right. Your wife says she jumps out and gathers roadkill too.
Yeah, well,
And
yeah, they look at it and say, "What the hell them people do?" Excuse my language. Well, they did. They're going to eat that.
Big Reds wants to know
But you know what? You know what, Sarah? 40, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, people used to stop and get. They probably still do, but not like they do now.
No.
50 years ago, people would stop and get roadkill, take it home.
Big Wrench wants to know what kind of hooks you use for your jigs.
I use different ones. I buy jigs. I buy like these. I got an assortment. I can't even get them up. I'm trying to get them out. You can use dry flies. Just like I said, I just got into it. I bought these off the internet. These are dry fly hooks. They don't even have a brand name on them, but they work good, and I use them for them little ones. I'm trying to get it out. They're so small. They're not like their big hooks either. Like them right there. I don't know if you can see them. See how little they are? They're not big at all.
No, they're trout hooks.
Yeah, they're trout hooks, but you can use them for bluegill. Now that hook there is what I tied this one with.
Oh wow.
That looks like a little bug, don't it?
Yeah, it looks like a little mosquito.
Yeah, just something I'm telling you, the catfish, bluegill will tear them up. Catfish even hit on them too. You know what I mean? I've caught catfish on jigs. I caught a catfish out of a river where I growed up at, not too far from here. I was jigging for smallmouth. It was early, and I was fishing for smallmouth, and I was just using a chartreuse jig head. I think I had a rubber grub on it, throwed it out there, and I caught like a 20-pound flathead on it. Catfish, they get jigs. If they're in the right area and you put it in front of them, and they will hit it. Catfish, they catch a lot of them up there. Now, this one's a little neat one. These are hard to see. Let me put this on the thing here. I think my cat wants to leave.
You got 30 people in here watching you.
Well, that's good. See that little one right there? See the eyes? Now, these are called barbells. The little thing that's a weight.
Right.
What you do is you take a hook and you take your string and you just wrap it around. Then you'll go back the other way till you get secured. And what I use, a little crazy glue or super glue, whatever you want to call it, and that'll hold it. I mean, it's something, you know, let me let this cat out. She's ready to go. She can
Hello,
understand.
Paula Abrams. Welcome. If you guys do not have Catfish Hammer, please go over there and help him.
Yeah, if you got any questions, send me. Just send them and I'll answer you. I'll help you out. I mean, this is something. My boys told me about a year and a half. He said, "Why don't you tie flies, or why don't you make fishing boats? Something that you can do at your house." And I don't do it all. You know, my problem is I can only sit here so long, and I have to take a break because of my back. But other than that, I get in here and in a couple hours, I'll tie a bunch of flies. I figure out what kind I want that day, Now lay in the bed or lay watching TV and think about it. I mean, there's all you can tie so many different types. I mean, there's just thousands and thousands of them. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, and hey, you know what? I've spent more money on junk stuff than on fly tying. I mean, these are ones I've tied. This is pretty sharp here.
Let her out.
Yeah, I let her out. Like this, and I think these feathers are from Walmart that my daughter bought me.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you can make them out. They might not hold up as good as other stuff, but you know what? It don't matter because you ain't got no money in it.
We have DHA in the house, double hook angling.
Hello?
He also ties flies as well.
Oh, does he? Well, that's good. It's just something. It's relaxing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, and you use your mind and your hand because when you're doing it, you know what I mean. You're using your hands. You're always doing something.
Yeah.
If you don't use your mind, it'll quit working. And that's a fact.
He also makes his own jig heads too with the weights on them.
Yeah, I do them with the head weights on them.
No, he makes his own head weights.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
He melts the lead and pours it in the mold and makes his own jig heads.
Who does?
Double hook angling.
I think I watched him. I think I watched him do it. Is he on with Lyle and them tying jigs?
He has his own channel and he does it there, but he was on with Lyle and them.
Yeah, I watch him. Every time he's tying. He ties good jigs.
Oh yeah.
And I see how he pours them and stuff. I would do that, but I don't know. I probably should, but I don't. I can buy 12 of them. I think I can buy 50 for $12. But I'd like to buy them. I like to just buy the plain jig heads, with no paint on them and powder coat them myself and do my own colors. I'm going to do that, but not yet. I like tying the little stuff. You know what I mean? I like tying the big jig heads for the crappie and stuff, but I like them right there. You know what I mean? I just think they're neat. It's amazing what a person can do when you put your mind to it.
Which would you think would have a better bite for crappie, a small fly or a bigger jig?
Well, it depends what time of day it is, the weather, how muddy it is. Crappies can be picky. Crappies can like a big minnow or they can like a small minnow. You know what I mean? I went fishing in a place where I caught crappie one after another, one after another, one after another. And all of a sudden, about a half hour later, and it's still morning, maybe 20 minutes, like 15 minutes later, all of a sudden they just quit hitting that minnow. So, you know what I do? I said, well, you know what? I'll try bass minnow. Put a bigger minnow on it. They started hitting them again. Boom, boom, boom.
Uh-huh.
Jigging, same way with jigging. I've throw jigs out and use bigger ones, and they hit them. Then all of a sudden they just quit. So I will go to the smaller one, and it seems like sometimes they want smaller ones.
I have a lot of hand-tied jigs I got from people and I bought from people. And I also have plastic jigs. So when the hand-tied colors wear out, I go to the plastic jigs and I still wear them out just by going through different colors.
Yeah, up here where I'm at, Brookville Lake's got some 14-inch, you can go up here and get on certain areas and you'll catch 13, 14-inch crappie all day long. Just how it is. They got nice bass, decent walleye. Now they're getting, a guy showed me pictures, him and his wife this past year of muskie they're catching out there. You take 48-inch muskie, that's big. But there's nice bluegill and everything in there.
What's the red rod behind you?
Oh, that's
Somebody's wanting to know.
Sorry, River Rats, I missed that one, but thank you.
Oh, that's right. This is, I think it's, I can't remember. I bought it, not Walmart, at Bass Pro. I think it's an M&B or M.
Oh,
Silver
We have
cat.
River Red's arch enemy in here. Real time John Parker.
Yeah. Oh, it's a B&M, Silver Cat Elite. It's got a 6,000 ambassador on it. I'm an ambassador person. The only reason I am, I can pass this down to my grandkids, and you'll still be able to buy parts for it. They'll make these when I'm dead and gone. And
Yeah.
that's the truth. Ambassador, they'll all, and see that right there? 6,000. Still be able to get on. See, that's a good one too. I see how it's got the chrome in here. That
Oh,
means it's got bearings in here. See this? This has got bulk of bearings inside of here, which are what was it? Oh, I can't name the thing of them. Crap, what do they call them?
John Parker. That's my shirt you got on.
Not sure. Oh yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of the name right now.
Oh, ceramic bearings.
Right.
I've got all kinds of. Now I tell you what, the worst mistake I ever made. This I'll use this toe twice. I liked it. It's a Barkley big game, but I've only used it twice, and the eye popped out of it. You can't see it there. Little insert popped out of it. Brand new, 2 times.
Yeah, I hate when those inserts pop out because they're hard
Now
to
this
put
is a 6,000. Every Abu Garcias I got's been upgraded. I buy them. What I do, which I got a new one here, but I buy them used, bring them home, go through them, clean them, and then I put bulk of bearings in them, and I go through them, make sure everything's good on them, and that's what I do with them. There's a few of them I painted. I do paint them every now and then for my kids. I upgrade them. I change the handles out. I change the bearings out. What's good about it? Like I said, I got my boy up there. He's got I found it up there. Actually, up here, the guy trout fishes bought it for $15. It's called a Devil's Moon or a Brown Moon. It's a 5,000 or 5,500. Paid $15 for it, and you know what? I can buy parts for it. That's what's wild about it. And that was made in 1976. And these all here are pretty much the same. That's like
Right.
the 7. These are made in Sweden. The 7,000s, the newer ones are made in China China. You know, it's just how it is. They're good reels and stuff. You still buy parts for them. I'm an ambassador person.
Right.
Always have been. I remember when I was a kid, my uncles would buy them pocket fishermen's for us kids when we go on vacation. Buy us a bunch of them. You remember the pocket fishermen?
Yeah.
You remember those?
Actually got 3 of them out in storage.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I've caught a lot of fish on them little things. But what it did, our uncles they'd buy them and buy them for us kids when we go fishing when we was young.
The only thing I don't like, you have to take them apart just to change the line.
Yeah. They're not easy.
No, they're not.
No.
But if you hook into a 20-pound blue on one of them things, you're in trouble.
Yeah. I growed up, we had Lord have mercy. Back then you had a lot of what was the name of them real Johnsons? Remember those Johnsons?
Yeah.
They had the old Johnson closed phase, Johnson open phase.
Matter of fact, I'll be right back. I got one for you.
Oh, do you? Hello, everybody out there. How you doing, real time? Keep that eye on John Parker. Look, that's what I got on here. Let me stand up so you see it. Up close and see it. That's what it says. Real time catfishing. John Parker. Go ahead. What you got there, Johnson? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that's got the original rod with it too, don't it?
Yep.
Yep.
And if you look right there on the button.
Yep. Made in the USA. Yep.
It still works. I haven't used it except for back in '62.
Yeah.
Haven't used it since.
Yeah. That's a good reel. That was back in the 70s and 60s. That's what you had.
Back in the
That's
'60s and
bait cast,
'70s.
that you could buy the bait caster.
Uh-huh.
The cheaper, they didn't really have like what they got. I mean, they got so many rods and reels, and you know what I mean, out there. It's unreal. Yeah.
That rod I will never use again.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, that's just, them are rare. Now, about 2 years ago, I found a guy, he was selling a bunch of, he bought some guy out in Kentucky. I screwed up. I had the money and I really messed up bad. I went down there and I bought all the 6,000, 6,500s he had, but he had the 5,500s, both brakes on both sides, had them the leather bag they come in with the paperwork. He had a 5-gallon bucket full of, had like 15 of them in it, and they was all still in the thing. This guy, he owned a from what I understand, he owned a bait shop somewhere in Kentucky, and he would rebuild reels and reels. And this guy had like 15. There was like 15 of them in a 5-gallon bucket, still in them little leather things.
Right.
And they had the pearl handles on them and everything. And you know what? I didn't buy them. And after I got home, a couple of days later, I said, "Why did I not buy them?" And I called the guy back. A guy come down here and bought everything he had the next day. And I started looking online. Some of them things are worth big money. People collect. That's the thing about these right here, where like it's 6,000. Not so much as black one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was teasing John Parker with this one. This one right here. I don't know if you can see it.
You beat John Parker with that one?
No, I was teasing him, said I'd give it to him if he'd eat cheese. There's no way I'd give this away. But they collect these. The Pro Rockets, they buy them and collect them and put them in shelves just to show them off. So they got them. But there's a guy up here, he works, he's got a place at the flea market. His name, I call him Louie Lou. But he's got a place over in Ohio, flea market. He carries all these parts, upgraded parts. And he carries the reels, the rockets. They're big. These rockets are big time up here. But the problem is, a lot of the guys that buys them, they'll buy them. They use them for fish and pay lakes.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I mean, that's their business. I mean, they pay their money. I mean, I don't like pay lakes because of what they do to the water.
I don't do pay lakes, and I don't like going to them.
Just like I said, there's a pay lake up here, and I'm telling you, there are so many pay lakes in Ohio, it's unreal. I could leave my house right now and go one way and hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In an hour and a half, I could be at 5 different pay lakes. And that's stopping at each one of them and going to each one of them. That's how many, that close. They're all over in Ohio. But sure. They put them big tournaments and stuff out.
We have Solo Texas Adventures that came in. Danimals, Steve Ransom, QC Sapper, John Parker, Real Time Catfishing.
Yeah, Daniel, look in Ohio, look under pay lakes. You'll say, oh my God. I mean, they're just everywhere in Ohio.
Oh, I don't know why. Ohio has them. Indiana has them.
Yeah, Ohio's got a lot of them. I know of 2. One of them is about 45 minutes. The other one about a half hour in Indiana from where I live. One is a carp pay lake, and the other one is mainly a channel cat pay lake. The one down towards, I think it's Aurora, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, is channel cat, but the one north towards Richmond, Indiana, is a carp pay lake. But if I go east from where I live, you got Catfish in Paradise. I mean, they're just, I can't even name all of them. There's so many of them.
Yeah, those places, I tell you what, they're not worth it because They don't
Well,
take care of the fish. They just catch them, put them in there. They don't feed them. They let them die as soon as they put them in there.
hey, who's that QC? I don't have glasses on. Don't tell nobody about that place, QC.
Okay, go.
Is that what I can't see it. It went up. Is that a QC
I'll pull it back up.
stopper? I don't have glasses. I can't see it from here.
Around Dayton, no one likes fishing the Great Miami River.
Why? Great Miami has got some monster flatheads in it.
He says.
Monster.
He also says
Monsters.
that would
Monsters.
he also says that'd be an expensive collection.
Yeah. He knows what I'm talking about. You ain't supposed to tell nobody about that. They've got, I mean, I'm telling you, from here to the ground, flatheads in it. And also got walleye and big smallmouth.
River Rats and John Parker's going at it in chat now.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yeah.
about whipping each other?
Yeah, she goes, John, I'm wearing my shirt on tournament day. And John goes, I'll whoop you with my own shirt on.
I can't even see that, Ma. I tell you what, when you lose your eyes, and I welded QC. Yeah, hey, you're right. Yes, it does. It's got nice flathead. And they don't just start, they start at the mouth of it where it feeds in Ohio and goes all the way north to where it comes in at. They have nice flatheads. Yeah. I've caught nice ones in there. Matter of fact, one I got a picture of, I caught it over there. I think it was like 29 pounders. And we'd only been there about an hour. I don't know if I can't find it right now, but we ain't supposed to tell people about that place.
So
you got to walk to a lot of places it's got.
What do you PB channel cats?
Like I said, I don't know. I mean, I caught big ones back in the 70s. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you because back then you weren't measuring nothing. When you caught with my uncles and them, when you caught channel cats or catfish or whatever you call it went in the frying pan. Oh man, we're eating that.
Oh yeah.
That's how it was back then.
I remember those days.
That. We're eating that. That ain't going nowhere but in the pan.
So what was your biggest flathead so far?
Me? I caught one back in the 80s. Like I said, it went from here to the ground, and I was going to take it and have it. There was a bait shop up there called Bill Heath Bait Shop, and I went up there, put it in back of. I had a 72 Ford truck, F100. It was. I put it in the back in plastic. I put plastic in it and put water in it. I kept it in the water. This is what I did. I kept it in the water in a net, a fishing net, where I got it out, put it back in the water, went and got the truck, went to my dad's house, which is about 10 minutes away. Some couple of friends of mine watched it, and I went up there and got like an old, I'm going to call it a feeding trough, plastic, one of them old hard plastic ones, and I put plastic in it, went back, I filled it up with water, then went back down there and put it up in there and went to take it to weigh it, and he was closed on me. He had just closed and he was gone. So I had to take it down there. I'm thinking it weighed probably 50, 60 pounds. It was huge. Its head was that big. I mean, it was huge. But just like I said, back then, you just didn't go to buy, you didn't have Bass Pro. You didn't get on the computer and order, a scale. They just didn't have them. I mean, probably some of my uncles had them, but really, nobody had no big scale weight, no 110, 120 pound fish or 80 pound fish back then. It just didn't happen. It ain't like it is now. Back then, I remember waiting in line when I got my driver's license, waiting in line to get gas. Waiting in line to get gas because of the gas shortage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ohio's got some nice fish in it. I mean, Great Miami's got some nice fish in it. They got a club. There's people that fish Great Miami. You got to know where to go. They're known for it. Since I've been a young kid and a young man, it is known. I have caught But the problem is, hey, you didn't have cell phones with cameras on them. You know what I mean? You just didn't carry a camera with you when you went fishing. That's just how
Yeah.
it was. Channel cat's the same way. Probably I'm going to say in the last 10 years, the biggest channel cat I caught, I caught a white bullhead over in west of here. I caught a white bullhead catfish, which is a bullhead, and a white one. It weighed like 13 and a half pounds. Then I caught a couple of channel cats. They weighed like 13. One of them weighed 14. I'm thinking 14 and a half pounds. That's been in the last couple of years. The white bullhead, after I caught it, that was the lake record of its size in that water. I didn't know it after my boy looked it up. But that lake over there, it's got some nice channel cat in it. And a channel cat, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know everybody loves these big 50, 60 pound blue cats, and they're great to catch, and big flatheads. And I'm going to tell you something. You catch a channel cat in a river, and they're going to fight you.
Oh, yeah.
They will fight you. You take a 8-pound channel cat, it will fight you. You take a 10-pound channel cat, and they will fight you.
John Parker says he caught one that weighed 13 ounces.
I know. I've seen it. I wouldn't even tell nobody about that.
I wouldn't have said anything about it. I just unhooked it and thrown it back into the water.
Yeah. Yeah. That happens. I've caught small ones.
I've caught a lot of small ones that turned into bait.
While I worked at my company, they had built a lake in front of it. And the owner of the company, he stocked it with channel cats. And somebody caught most of the big ones out and he ended up draining it because they had little channel cats. That's all you'd ever catch in channel cats about that big.
Stephanie, I don't want to butcher your last name, but forgive me. Stephanie Bullenrud says no one can outfish my daddy.
Oh, that's my daughter.
River Rat says
she's a fisherman. I took her catfishing. We was fishing catfish. And that's why we fished for. Next thing I know, she caught a 6-pound bass. Big old mouse, this long. I bet you it was every bit of 24, 25 inches long. Fishing for channel cat. She fishes good. All my kids are good fishermen. They all fish good. And they like it. They all like it. Just like I said, my grandson, Johnny, I'm telling you, that boy can fish. And he can catch bluegill going out of style. Like I said, we went. He was right next to me. He was next to me, and he was over here, and I was here. He was right next to me in the same area. His dad was over here. His mom was over here, and my boy was over here. And my grandson outfished every one of us. He made us all look bad that day. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. He was doing something right because he said, "Here, Paps, unhook it." He'd bring them over to me, and I'm telling you, they was hand-sized bluegills. And that was unhooking them. He was tearing them up. But he does that with crappie and catfish. It's nothing to me. It's an enjoyment to watch my cat. I'd rather watch my kids catch fish than me. But that's just me.
So, what are your go-to catfish baits?
Here, Brookville, I have a lot of good luck with shad, and they have no skipjack in the water. But I fish the rivers that feed into around this area. I mean, we got whitewater right over here. I use skipjack and shad. They like the skipjack. They say if they're not in the water, they want to eat it. I'm telling you, they eat it. Chicken, I've caught them on chicken. Unbelievable, can't believe it. They do eat chicken. Shrimp, of course, channel cat loves shrimp.
That's cool.
I mean, mainly it's fresh shad. Mainly fresh shad and a lot of skipjack does pretty good, but shad does a little bit better, I think, my opinion. The chicken. Go ahead.
What baits would you use for flatheads?
Oh, that's nothing but live bluegill. Live bluegill, and what good over in Ohio you can use goldfish, but I use bluegill. Most of my caught was on live bluegill. Suckers, I got a spot where I can catch suckers all day long this big.
That's perfect for flatheads.
Uh-huh. And I just found this spot, me and my boy did about into last year, fall. We went up there smallmouth fishing at a dam, a little small dam, overflow dam, little small dam.
Right.
And I found suckers. Throw a night crawler out there, bam, one right after another. Perfect.
I used to have a good spot like that until I thought I wasn't seen.
Well, that's you can't.
Someone followed me and found it, and they raped it.
Yeah, you can't tell. I mean, I hate to say that. Don't want to be that guy. That guy, he want that. You can't tell. If you tell them, they will catch them out.
Well, this was a
I've
guy
seen it happen before.
This was a guy that runs a bait shop, and he's looking for
Oh yeah.
baits without having to order them.
Mm-hmm.
And well, when Fish and Game found out that he did it, he got fined heavily.
Yeah.
But he ruined the fishery.
Yeah, you run your spot. You go take a few. You go take a few to go catfishing with, and then bam, it's all over.
I take about 10 or 12 to go night fishing for flatheads, and
Yeah.
this guy went in there. He took bluegills, crappie, bass, suckers, all of them
People
out.
do that. That's what they do. And some of them creeks where you find small rivers and small creeks where you find suckers and nice bluegills, fishing bluegill to use for bait, and suckers to use. If you catch them all, if you catch them all out of there, they'll be gone. She's not a Yankee, trust me.
No, she goes, honey, I'm home. I had a bad day. Got beat by a Yankee lady in every way.
She's talking about beating what you call her, beating
John Parker. That's right.
Yeah, got real time catfishing. Yeah, they that's one thing I try not to do. If I go there and I catch a lot of fish and it's not a real good, if I don't think they're not going to keep moving in up in there, I'll catch a few and that's it. Now that's like last year. I took my wife. She went white bass fishing with me. Oh my Lord! We was going catfishing actually, or no, we was going white bass fishing, and we're sitting there, and next thing I know that we can't get in the water because I just can't get in the water. I mean, I can't walk in it and that. But we're fishing, and here's these people just coming, and they're waders, and they're coming right where you're fishing. Well, it wasn't bothering us. It didn't bother me because we're that they wasn't coming. But there was a guy come up here. He walked all the way down the other side of the river, and he started catching these white bass, one right after another. One right after. Next thing I know, here's 5 people moving right where he's at, next to him, and just start casting where he was catching them at. If that'd been me, it'd been on. You know what I mean? You don't do that. You don't fish. If a guy's catching fish here and you're not catching them over here, you don't throw it his spot. I'm sorry.
Now, what do you look for? What do you look for when you go flathead fishing?
I look for like trees down, and I look for like a deep bank that cuts down but cuts back in where they get up there. Where they cut back in under the ground. You know what I mean? Where they get up under and lay is what I look for in a river. Okay. That's why I look for it. Or I look like for a big, like in a river, you'll get in small rivers, which I know a spot I'm going to go to this year. The problem is it has no cell phone. Stupid. I like to do more. I like to do live, get into doing live video, but I can be out here on this Brookville's a pretty decent lake. A lot of boats go on it. A lot of people's over here. Certain areas, you ain't got no reception.
Right.
But there's a river, and it's got a log jam. And the water don't move real fast at all. But I want to hit it, and that would be a good spot for small. I mean, not for small, but for flatheads. like where Q, I think I can't remember what his name was. QC there, talking about the Great Miami River. See, it's got the trees that fell in, the logs that's washed out when it floods. It's got low water dams, but it's also got the banks that's cut straight down, but they cut down, then they go just like that back, where they get up in there and lay. Yeah, but you know, I get aggravated when I go. If I'm fishing, don't come over and fish next to me because I'm catching fish.
Right.
We's up there when he's fishing, and them guys, I told him, said, look, we're catfishing. Where we was fishing at, we had to throw across the river because that's where the deep hole was. You know what I mean? If you go fishing in a river, you or anybody else, you'll find that deep hole. How do I find them? Just my uncles taught me from years ago. They're old school. They're all dead and gone now. God, I love them. I had great uncles, the best family ever was. But they taught me how to read the river and how it flowed. Well, I found a couple holes in this river where I know I could throw and catch catfish here, because them catfish come, if the water is a foot deep, 2 foot deep, if it averaged a foot deep, halfway across this river, then the other side the same way, they'll find a little hole to stay in. Well, I found these holes and I'm out here casting. Well, here's this guy walks right down. I kept telling us, I got fishing lines out there, buddy. I got fishing lines out there. I'm fishing. Do not get out there. He kept on walking. So my better half took an 8-ounce sinker sign and said, and just whizzed it at him. Wait a minute, hit him right in the head. He didn't come back down here again. But
No.
I kept telling you, he got fishing lines there. I don't do that to nobody. If I'm fishing on my boat and I'm trolling around and I'm looking for crappie and some guy's catching crappie over there, I'll stay 50 yards away from him. I don't even go his way. I don't even get close to him. I don't go over and bother him. If he's coming up the bank, if I see him coming up the bank towards me, and I just went in that way, I'll back out and I'll go around him and go back behind him and come behind him.
Right.
That's just me.
Reminator says, I taught him everything he knows.
Oh, yeah, that's my son. No, he just, when I look for trees in the water, not bush piles, not little bushes. I look for like a big tree branch, big trees. I look for undercut where I know from years from the flood when it waters up and goes down, where it cuts back under, it cuts the ground out, because they will cut the ground out, the water will.
Oh yeah,
that's what I look for flatheads, and that's where I find them. You know what I mean? That's just, and under dams, we got a couple low water dams. You'll fly those flatheads. They like coming up there and coming underneath and getting at that dam where water's coming over and hitting straight down and getting them bait fish getting all messed up in that current. And they'll go up there and they'll set and they'll open their mouth and just, that's what they do. Just swallow them whole. I mean, I've caught a lot of the spillways.
I'm saying hello to everything guy. He just came in chat.
Hello. Yeah, he does.
Huh?
Q and C, he knows. If he lives up Dayton, he knows all about Great Miami River.
Oh yeah, because
as long as I don't care if people fish, just have respect for the big fish. Be respectful for people fishing. Be respectful for if you catch a fish, you catch a 20 to 30 pound flathead, put it back in the water. That's me. First of all, I wouldn't eat nothing out of Great Miami River anyway. I was around
fishing.
And
that's fishing came in.
Oh, hello. I mean, that's me. I remember when they had Ken Diamond got that. Great Miami it's like, I call it the Mill Creek of Cincinnati. It's the Mill Creek. It's had so much stuff dumped in it, just like Licking River. Licking River was the #1 polluted river in the United States about 10 years ago. The reason why? Because where it runs all the way down around Hyden, Kentucky. Was that Clay County, or is that not Clay County? What is it? Leslie County, I think they call it. It runs all the way up down through that area. And the problem is people live on the side and they've been dumping their manure, whatever you want to call it, been dumping in that river forever.
Mhm.
And that's just the truth. I'm not gonna lie. It's got great fish in it, but I would never eat a fish out of there. Ohio River, I'd never eat a fish out, but that's just me. Because, there's so many chemical factories, you know what I mean?
Right.
For years. It takes years and years and years for
Some
chemicals
of
to get out of. The bigger the fish get, the more contaminated their meat is because the bigger they are.
but some of those chemicals, when they hit water, they don't break up. They just
No,
put them in
no.
a bubble and sink.
I remember back in this, I think it was in the 70s, there's a place in Hamilton, Ohio called Chemdine. There was old Erie Canal, part of the canal system, and run all the way to New York. They were taking 55-gallon drums and throwing them in this canal. Well, this canal fed Great Miami River, ran into Great Miami River. I remember when the water, it was nice looking water. It was black for years from that contamination.
Oh, sorry, Stephanie.
Don't throw garbage in the water. Don't leave your trash laying around. If you go on a fishing bank, take your garbage with you. That's
Sorry,
me.
Stephanie. I forgot to say hi to you when I was doing announcements. Welcome in, Stephanie.
That's me. I don't, we went up here to place me, my better half. My kids went with me, go fishing with me. We went up there. Somebody left they left a part of a little styrofoam mattress and left an old tent and a bunch of garbage there and just left it. And I'm like, why? It probably kids. Even when I was a kid, I never did that because I woke up. I grew up in the day when you back talk to your dad, you got hit. It was don't you go to your room now, you little boy. You go, okay. You know what I mean? But I respect my mom and dad. Thank God I had the mom and dad. My dad was a Baptist preacher, so that's how it was when I grew up. We got whipped. You didn't leave garbage on the ground. Even we'd go camping all over in tents when I was a kid. We cleaned our mess up. We cleaned our fire pit up. We cleaned everything up before we left. That's how I was raised. And my kids are the same way. We don't leave garbage there. Now, I'll throw old bait. When I get done with the bait, if I'm not going to take it free, which bait ain't no good to freeze again, I'll throw it back. I'll throw it in the water and feed the fish. Or leave it there for raccoon. It's like this spot me and my kids go to, me and my boys, we're fishing about 8 o'clock at night. And I'm sitting there in a chair and he's sitting over next to the right of me. And I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I heard, what the what? And I just turned back and hit my headlamp head on my head. And a raccoon was trying to get in our bait bag, steal our bait. That was so funny. So I told him a piece of fish up there, gave him something to eat. But, clean your mess. If you go fishing, don't leave your garbage.
So what kind of catfish rods you use?
I use they're trophy cat tackle rods is what they are. A guy over here in Hamilton sells them. Trophycat.com. I buy all my hooks, all my floats, no line. I use Berkeley Big Game. I've been using it for years. He never had an issue. But that's what I use. They're called Trophy Big Cat. Trophy Cat tackle rods and what they are. These are medium action. They'll take a 10-ounce sinker. That's what I use my 7.6. I got a couple. I can't remember the name of them. I think they're Daiwas. I think I got one Daiwa, one pin. I got two Daiwas, one pin, rods, 10-footers. But I can't remember what his name is. But he sells them. He sells all kinds of tackle. Got good hook. Never had issues with his hooks going dull, with his hooks bending or anything like that. And I put, when you fish for flathead, and everybody here knows it, when you fish for flathead, you are going to hook trees. And I broke, I use 30-pound main line. Goes your drag's 15 pounds, 30 pounds. That's all you need. Now
Right.
you use 60-pound leader line, and he sells. Here's one on there. Yeah, he sells all that. I mean, that's all his stuff. There's his hook. He got nice hooks. I don't know if you can see that. That's his what's called rattles.
Yeah,
that he
demon
sells.
rattles.
Yeah. I mean, I was one of his first customers, and I've went back ever since because he has a good deal on hooks. Never had issues with his hooks. They're sharp. They don't bend. I was gonna look and see. I thought I had some more of them. I can't remember what I did with them. I thought I had some more of his. Excuse me, just for a minute. Yeah. I don't have none with me. I don't think. I think I put them all in my tackle box. Yeah, I put them all in my tackle box. Yeah, always. I keep extra stuff. I did there in my here. I'm in a room. My room ain't real big, but it's stuff full of stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, I understand that. Especially when you go look for something and you can't find it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he's got some nice hooks, man. I mean, he got.
What kind of hooks do you like to use?
Well, it depends what I'm pitching. You know what I mean? If I'm pitching for flathead, I like a 10 or 12 because that big old mouth.
Yep.
It don't matter if they're 5 pounds or 10 pounds. They are 30 pounds. They have a big mouth. This is. I don't think that's a 12.
No, I've caught a 2-pound flathead on a 14-knot circle hook.
I have too. I mean,
I just don't know how they got that big hook inside their mouth with a 9-inch bluegill.
Yeah, I mean, he's got. I think he sells down to 6-ounce, 6-aught. I mean, I think that's a 10-aught. That's a 10-aught. 10-aught. I think that's a 6 or 8. Let me see. I got them mixed up here. It helps if I put glasses on. I think a 12-aughts on the bottom. The 12-aught there, yeah. Yeah, he sells 6-aughts, 12-aught. Got nice. I mean, got nice barrels. Now, something I do like. I don't know if you ever seen one of these. I've never seen them before. That's a sinker. But see how it's made?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's for like sandy bottoms or speedy gravel bottoms. What it does when it hits,
It sinks in.
yeah, it sinks in and locks.
A lot of duck
called a
hunters like
kitty.
using them.
It's called a kitty claw.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be down at CatCon this year.
A lot of duck.
He'll be at CatCon.
Hey, River Rat,
Huh?
you want to say something to John Parker?
Yeah. Let me see. I always look crooked in this camera. You're going down, big boy.
He keeps throwing trash your way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he still makes these. Him and his buddy was making them. Like this is a 6-ounce kitty. They're called kitty claws. That's the first time I ever seen them. I actually bought a bunch of them. These are 6-ounce. This is a 5-ounce. I got some 8-ounce. I mean, what they do is just like you hook and they grab the dirt, mud, whatever, soft bottom, and grip in them. Yeah, I don't have none of his the other ones in my other box. I mean, he's got nice swivels. I mean, they're not broke on me. If you have a swivel that breaks on you, usually 80% of the time, if they come apart, they're rusted.
Right.
Remember that, rusted.
I know a lot of duck hunters use those sinkers too.
Yeah. Oh, they work great. They're great ones. But
I know.
he carries beads. He carries all kinds of stuff.
I
He
know.
carries a lot more stuff now.
I could use
He's a super nice young man.
Who's that?
That guy is. His name is PJ. I think that's what he goes by, PJ. The one that sells that tackle. Real nice guy.
Yeah.
Now, I like me, the fly stuff, like I buy a lot at Bass Pro Shop, but I found a place in Indianapolis, which is only like an hour, 20 minutes from
His
me.
name is PJ Kerger.
PJ Carter, what's the name of it? TrophyCatTackle.com, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
River Rats, he says that he ain't scared of you.
Let me see if I can look straight in this camera.
Oh, let me put back.
John Parker, you're going down, big boy. You're gonna be crying and screaming.
You can catch fish, John. I'm here to tell you.
Hey, River Rats, you got it made. He can't fish with a lick anyway.
You sit down there and move.
Is that what he said?
No, I know he can't fish with a lick.
I'm gonna be nice. Abbott. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna bite my tongue now. I agree with you though, what you said. Not worth a lick.
I give him more grief than anything.
Yeah, I know
He's a good
he's
guy.
a good guy.
I love
I
him.
know he is. He's a good guy.
He does a lot for the community. Like for a guy I can't see, he's pretty good at making them the thumbnails. It's amazing how he can do that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how he does that.
Came in.
Hi, Viking.
Hi, Viking. It's amazing how he does that.
No,
Nice guy.
Why not?
Nice guy.
I keep looking.
Oh, they're all good people.
Yeah, everybody. To me, when I watch more than I put comments in there, Abbott. But I watch fishing all the
There
time.
you go.
When I'm not fishing, I'm watching.
Lots of people gonna get fooled.
I hope you do good.
Wait a minute. You're supposed to wait a minute. You're my Joey.
I like anybody to do good fishing. I don't care who it is.
I want to see River Rats put a stumping on John Parker.
And we're going for weights. So the little dinks that he catches, about a minnow size, they're gonna add up.
Yeah, but hey, it takes almost 100 dinks to get over a pound.
Hear that, John? 100 dinks.
And he ain't gonna catch 100 dinks in 6 hours.
I hope he might.
He said he's going to go out on a boat. He's going to James River.
Are you? Well, let's hope you do good there.
Last time he went to James River, he got skunked.
Uh-oh, John.
Hey, he jinxed the James River last time he was there, and now he's gonna go back and re-jinx it again.
Put the jinx on him.
Yeah.
Hey, put the watch calls on him.
I'm going to have to do the jinx to him at CatCon. I'm going to have to go, hey-ya, 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 hey-ya.
I know a couple. I grew up with a couple people like it. You didn't let them touch nothing you had. If they touched it, it was done.
If I didn't have to go get some procedures done, I would be going to CatCon.
Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to go. Well, we're going Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah. Come home Sunday.
Yeah. It ain't that far from us.
Actually,
we used to live in northern Kentucky, actually, over a place called Ryland Heights on up off the Coursey Pike. What was it, 177?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I traveled through, did a lot of work in Louisville. Yeah, there's a place in Louisville there on the river. Man, what was the name of it? I looked it up. Makes the best fish sandwich in the world. One of the best ones I've ever ate, catfish sandwich. And a big old, man, they got onion rings that big.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
See, CatCon's only, 6-8 hours from me, but
Are you going?
No, I gotta get some surgeries done.
Oh, you do? What are you gonna have done?
Cataract surgeries, one in each
Yeah.
eye. And they don't want me driving until they get.
No. Well, hopefully everything goes well for you.
I'm hoping it will.
It should. That's a thing they do all the time now. I'm not trying to say it's easy and all that, but that's a common thing they do now.
Sorry.
What are you working on?
I was going to show John this little bee.
Oh, I've been showing him.
Well, I'm going to squish him.
Oh, don't shut that door. That'd be your pole, bro.
No.
My boy took my fish holders, my pole holders I had in here.
John, you see this little bee? Bzzz.
Put your hand behind it. There
You
you
got to
go.
put your hand behind it so you see.
Oh,
it.
like that. You see this little bee, John Parker? Big Daddy Parker?
There is
Squash,
the bee.
squash, squash, squash.
Tammy,
Huh?
She's mean. You're
I
mean.
love him to pieces. He
I
knows
know,
I'm
he's a good guy.
joking with him.
Everybody out here everybody out in catfish community is great people. I love watching them fish, and I might not comment, but I do watch, and I hit the thumbs up. I watch every chance I get. Danny, I pestered Danny, told him I took his chair last year. I hope he did. Danny, I wasn't at CatCon, and I did not take your chair. I swear. I told him, he said, somebody took my chair at CatCon last year. And I wrote in there and said, I took it. I didn't take it. I wouldn't do that to nobody.
We got you 5 away from 50.
That's pretty good.
All right, that's good. I'm going to do more videos this year, more live stream.
Let's
This
get
past year was it was kind of a bad year in my life. My mother I was taking care of died. Then I had a son that died, and it's been a bad year.
Broke your ribs.
Cracked my ribs.
Yeah.
Cracked my ribs. Yeah. Going to a porta john to use the bathroom, slipped in ice. Bam, down I went.
No. What would be your funniest fishing story you got?
Oh, down at the lake. You and James and William went to, and your brother pooped in the water.
No, I ain't gonna tell that story. We went to.
I think we already did.
Yeah, me and my two older brothers. My oldest brother's gone, passed away. We went to North Lake to go fishing. Went down there for a week, just us three. We went out on some. Well, it wasn't an island. North Lake is kind of like a river. So we picked a spot, went out there. We stayed out there a week. Well, here we go out in the water in the boat. I get in the boat. We get out there in the boat. Of course, that's where we're taking showers and baths in the water because we're out nowhere on a bank. There's no showers, no toilets, no that. So my oldest brother gets out there and he says, I got to use the bathroom. So he uses the bathroom in the water. Number 2, I'm trying to keep it clean. And he couldn't get away from it. So my brother starts his boat up, and eases up a little bit. And every time he starts put it in gear, it throw it close to my oldest brother was in the water, and he couldn't get away from it. He was just screaming. Oh, I'll never forget that.
Torturing him, huh?
Oh yeah, but we had a blast. Us three, we had a blast together. But we did that when we was kids. Just like I said, I was fortunate. I grew up. My dad believed in vacation. I mean, been to Yellowstone with my parents 6 times. There it is.
It's up on screen.
Right.
Okay.
He's asking for a beating.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Well, no. I went trout fishing this year.
What was the trout one?
When I fell in the water.
Oh yeah.
I went trout fishing. It's 20 degrees out. I'm fishing on the bank. I reached over. What it was, my fish hunter fell in the water. I reached over and grabbed. Well, I can't bend over yet. I don't have good balance when I bend over because of back issues. I went straight in the water, all the way to the neck. It's 20 degrees out. So I get my stuff. I'm heading back to the car. I'm soaking wet from the neck down. It's 20 degrees out. So what I do, luckily, there's only a few people there, and they're fishing around the lake. And where I was at, nobody else was around. So I pulled my pants off, which I had jogging pants off. I actually had bibs on with my Carhartt, pulled them off. Everything was wet. Pulled my shirt off. So I drive an hour away all the way home. I drive from Ohio all the way home in my underwear. And the bad thing about it, I had to drive through a town called Oxford, which is Miami University, the University of Miami. So here I am driving through there going, oh my God. And there's kids everywhere walking. I'm going, oh my God, please don't look in my car. Don't look in. And I was driving a little, what is that car we got?
Escape.
A little Escape. And they're not high off ground. I'm going, oh, please don't let them look in the car. I'm sitting there in my underwear soaking wet. Didn't have no towel, didn't have nothing, couldn't cover up with nothing. I drive all the way home. That's a pretty good one there.
Well,
do not go fishing by yourself. Bad thing. Do not fish by yourself if you're handicapped.
Tell them about the blow-up raft. What blow-up raft?
Blow-up raft?
I know Brandon wrote something about a blow-up raft. What'd you do with the blow-up raft?
with me. Oh, that was a long time ago. That was over here. That wasn't a blow-up raft. That was a boat, little John boat. When the fish jumped in it, my brother thought it was a snake. Was trying to kill it with a machete. That was a long time ago.
John Parker said he's going to beat up on me.
I just told that story. My daughter, Stephanie. I just told the story about falling in the water. That's why you do not go fishing by yourself. Yeah.
Hey,
I was by the time I made it, I had to walk probably. Here I am, got a cart, walking with the cane. I had to walk with a cane when I walked distance. Now I'm driving a cart around distance, but I'm walking with a cane. I'm hurting because I fell in the water. It hurt because I do have back problem. And so I'm walking with the cane, pulling a little cart, I call granny cart, what my wife calls it. And I'm pulling it behind me, soaking wet, trying to hold my clothes up. Yeah, because the watch collars was so heavy I couldn't hardly walk in them. My bibs, so I had to take them off instant because they were full, soaking wet. I pulled them off. I'm trying to hold my jogging pants up and walk at the same time. Oh my God! Thank God there was nobody there to see me. Yeah, that was probably don't want to do that.
River Rats, you're gonna have to watch out for John Parker because if he's fishing against you in a tournament and someone else is fishing with him, and they catch a fish on his rod, he's gonna try to take that fish and use it against you.
He's only allowed to have 3 rods. That's in the rules. 3 rods.
Yeah, because we're only allowed to use 3.
Right, but I'm saying if someone
I
reels
can
in,
only use 3 over here in Indiana. So he's only going to be allowed to use 3, and he's got to have a Joey. So I don't know who his Joey's going to be.
well, he says last time I seen him do a tournament, someone reeled in one of his rods with a fish on it. It was that guy's fish that reeled in, but he tried to use that fish for his weight.
Right, like how he does Dana all the time.
He steals other people's fish for their weights.
We're going for weight, so John, no cheating.
Hey, you should go for size.
Well, we got 3 different. I think we're running 3 days because we had some more ladies that joined up. So I'm just going to do weight because they're all booked up.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So what kind of rods do you like using?
Please.
I said, what kind of rods do you use?
I got a what is mine? Mine's a trophy tackle, cat tackle. And then where's my reel at? Where's my reel, Daryl?
That's an Abu Garcia's.
Yeah.
It's a Walmart wheel, but it's still $100.
I won this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won the whole outfit.
Must be nice.
Hey, here's what John Parker has to say.
I am using 6 at least. No.
That's all right. You can use 6. I'll be a Joey.
Okay.
I'll be a Joey. I'm a good Joey.
Wait a minute. All these people saying that. Now, John, we're supposed to use 3 rods. Now, you're going to forfeit and lose already.
I'll be a Joey. I'm a good Joey. I sit back and I do all the night tie, the rigging, and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, if he's a Joey, he can fish, so you can match John Parker with 6 rods.
No, it's just going to be me against John. John, don't be cheating. I'm using 6 at least. No,
that's fine.
Well, yeah, he's handicapped. I should give him a count. Yeah, I should.
No, hey. Even if we give him a handicap, he's going to fall backwards in that lawn chair.
That was a good one. That was
the lawn chair.
That was a good one. You're right.
I loved it.
That was funny.
He went past and he fell backwards, so the line didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then he said, the ground's uneven.
Yeah.
It wasn't the ground, it was him.
He's jerking that bluegill out of the water. And a monster.
If you ever want to watch what not to do catfishing, watch John Parker.
Oh yeah.
John Parker.
I watched Stan and them this morning and watched.
He catches trees. He'll catch a sinker to the eye.
Oh, you got that, didn't you, on the boat?
Uh-huh.
I got the big sinker and die.
That was that's when he went by self sinker.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about, was it you or Brandon that got a sinker in the eye?
That was Brandon.
Yeah, one of them big old
That'll
sinkers.
happen. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Now he did get a big trouble hook in his mouth when he was a baby. Yeah, not a
Ow,
baby. He was a young kid.
Lure.
Right here, a lure in his mouth.
that's a nightmare.
Yep. They take him to the hospital. He was good though. He didn't do nothing or say anything. He was good. Take
That's it.
good
Oh,
out.
yeah.
John Parker will blow you away, literally.
So it says careful because John P would
Didn't
blow
blame
you
the
away
dog.
literally with them. Didn't blame the dog.
Oh, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
then blame the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor old dog.
Yeah, Parker's good at that.
The dog.
So it was the dog.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
even his
John
dog.
Parker,
He was,
John Parker could bend over and bark like a frog and blame everybody else but him.
it wasn't even his dog. It wasn't even his dog. That poor
It
dog.
was
I
Turtle Man's.
know
I think it was Turtle Man's dog.
that poor dog probably has issues now.
Yeah.
Hey, Don says John P does have the gift of gab.
Yeah, he does.
Daggone dog.
All right, well, she would not watch shows. Then she started watching John
Parker was my
and
first
his
one.
wife,
Yeah. And Dana.
Dana, and now she watches all kinds of them. She enjoys them. She likes, now that she knows their names and stuff. She'll say, hey, you know what's called Dana, he's fishing live, and Stan, he's on, and yeah. She pays attention. I sit in here, I got like I guess you call it a fishing room, hack CV, computer room, whatever you want to call it. I sit in here, I'll watch them whenever they're live. I watch everybody fish.
So I wouldn't blame that dog either. I wouldn't go around John anymore.
Oh God, dog.
That poor dog got abused.
It did.
Said that dog doesn't come around John no more.
No, you're right.
If I seen John, I'd run the other direction.
Yeah. Yeah, Dana gets on him when she's fishing with him. Well, I didn't do that.
He's the only one there.
Yeah. I'm thinking if a dog doesn't sound like that, it probably needs to be checked.
All right, QC. Good night, bud.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, he goes, it was really Turtle Man, and Turtle Man ain't nowhere around.
No, it was, yeah.
I like some of the inventions he comes up with,
Yeah,
but he never catches a fish for the inventions to work.
he's trying. Sometimes you just got to
I
try.
won't give him effort.
I don't think there's any catfish in that water he's fishing.
Oh, I've seen
If there
other
is, he's
people
not.
in water and catch fish.
He needs to find out where it's got to be. He's not fishing either. I look for current seams and all that stuff in rivers and stuff.
Exactly.
Whenever I'm fishing rivers, I look for eddies and all that. I look for stuff like that.
Current seams, drop offs, flats, ledges.
Yeah, when I cast my poles out, it don't matter if I'm crappie fishing on the bottom, fishing for catfish. I try to look for structure. But if I'm fishing for catfish too, if I'm fishing for like channel cat or blue cat, I try to throw out and then I see how long it takes my sinker to hit the bottom. Then I'll do it and I'll cast another pole out. I'll cast my first pole out as far as I can cast out and see how long it takes to hit the bottom.
Yeah, you take
and cast out like 10 foot shorter, then I'll see how long it takes for it to hit the bottom. What I'll do is I'll find like a ledge. I'll look for a ledge.
You're like me. You cast one way out, then you'll count until that line quits, and you'll know how deep it is.
So that's how I try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I try to find the ledges because them fish will come. The catfish come right out. Any fish, they'll come out of them ledges and come up.
All right. Good night, Donar.
Good night.
Yeah, wow, we've been on here for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, wow. Blabbermouth, Daryl Jones. I'm Daryl. Catfish Hammer.
I didn't say anything about Blabbermouth.
I am. I like to talk, brother.
Amen.
Hey, that's why tonight it was about you. I just
Well, thank you. Appreciate
Ask
it.
me a few questions, and I'll let
I'm
you go.
glad the flies, man. I tell you, I enjoy it. And then I stay on my better half's hair too.
Now I've done some flies.
You did flies too. She had a problem doing the knot.
The tie, the
Tying.
flipping and turning.
That's a big thing to tie it when you do that knot. I mean, it's relaxing, really.
No,
To me,
I
it
know
is.
there's no shame in their game picking up roadkill.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she don't.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll jump out and grab a dead squirrel in a heartbeat.
She might be a northern, but she ain't, brother. Trust me. That's like me. I was born and raised in
Hey,
Ohio.
she's not a true northern because
I was born and raised in Ohio, but I spent most of my life, my childhood, was in Kentucky because that's where my dad and my mom's family was from.
Brian B's gonna take him out. No, Brian. Missy's gonna take you down. Missy is taking you down.
John's got a nice boat. Got a big old pontoon boat.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't yell at Dana, he could teach her how to drive. He needs some. You got to have somebody that don't yell. I could go down there in a week, in 2 or 3 days, I could teach her how to back that boat up, haul it around, all over town, on the highway, and she'd never be scared.
Yeah, I could probably do the same thing.
That's me.
I've got an idea where John's going.
You do.
Bug Island? Where's Bug Island?
That's where he's scared of the bears over there. Black bears, he's scared of them. They're little bitty bears. Black bears.
Yeah, last time he was around Bug Island, he farted and scared all the wildlife away.
John.
Brian, he says I got your back, John.
I pull for everybody on the catfish shows they put out here. Everybody catch fish.
But who are you going to be with? Are you going to be for me?
I'm going to be there with you, but I pull for everybody to catch fish.
No.
No. It's going to be one side or the other for winter.
The plug can come out of the boat real fast.
Oh, you're in it too?
But I can swim faster than you.
I've got like that. All right. I will pull for you when you're fishing. But I like to see everybody catch fish. You know what I mean? I like everybody catch fish. I don't want to see one in catfish community. I don't like to see nobody not catch fish. Just like when they have them tournaments. I like everybody to catch fish. I enjoy it. I watch I watch all them tournaments. I just watch them. Kevin had showing down them guys down there in Carolina. But I watched the one that Bait House puts on. Watched that tournament. I think it was Winter Blues. Then I watched the other one. Who put that on? The one where they went to the
Winter Blues, Chad.
River Against River, I think it was.
River Against River was Brian B.
Yeah. I sat and watched every one of them. I pulled for everybody. I like to see everybody do
The
good.
Winter Blues was Chad.
Right. I think Bobcat won it with 2 fish, one big fish. Well, he had a bunch, but he caught a big one.
Yeah.
But that one girl, what's her name? She about
Pam.
Pam come from nowhere, went to Licking River, and she was smoking her and Kayak Mike. Kayak Mike, they did good. But I like to see everybody do good. Not one. I want to see everybody. I enjoy watching everybody catching fish. I mean, that's me.
I'm going to start doing a lot more fishing videos and lives and stuff. So
that's what I want to do.
Plus,
this was a bad year for me, but I done decided that's what I'm planning on doing.
In May, I'm taking it on Serena.
Even though it takes me 3 or 4 hours to download a video, my internet's pitiful.
Me and Serena's going to go on a one.
That's right. I'm gonna watch it. You guys supposed to go against each other 1-on-1.
Who?
Serena and him. I want to watch that.
Yeah, I found out the other night when I had her on as a guest. She's wanted to take me on for 2 years.
All right.
And when she was a first guest, and I didn't know it until I challenged her. She says, "This is a dream. I've been wanting to do this for 2 years."
She puts on a good show, Serena does.
Oh yeah.
I watch her, and then I guess what's it, Jay? I can't. Jared, is that his name?
Jarrell.
With the Jarrell was doing that show with her. I was sitting there and watching. I think he quit doing it with her.
I'm Kingfish.
You see what Brian B saying? Tune in this weekend because I'm Kingfish on all day.
Oh, that's right. The Whisker Bow. That's going on, ain't it? Oh, I do. I watch them. If I'm not watching on my phone, I'm watching them on the TV in the living room or the bedroom or in here in this room. I'm watching them. I do. If I'm not doing nothing else, I sit down. One way or another, I try to watch them. I enjoy everybody and the way everybody gets along. Everybody gets along so good. Don't fight. Don't argue. That's
I got a question for you two and people in chat. Between Paula and Creole, a tournament fisherman, and the guy that's online tournament he's unskunked. No one's beat him on the tournaments on YouTube, and you got a catfish tournament angler. Which one's going to whip who?
Paula.
I think honestly.
I was thinking the same thing, River.
I'm sorry, Creole, if you're out there, forgive me. Paula can fish. Hopefully it's good and everything goes good. I think it was the 13th or 14th. Mm-hmm. She's supposed to find out about her.
14th, she rings the bell for her final kilo.
Next week she'll be ringing the bell and
yes.
Yeah, but she catch some nice fish. I got
next
Sunday. She'll do a lot of it because you've been sick.
Next Sunday we'll be doing a Valentine's show, a Valentine's trivia show. Both were doing questions.
Yeah, I'd be rough one. She'd be hard to go against.
Oh yeah,
she's pretty tough. I mean, if she's feeling good and she's good enough, I watched her. She catches some nice fish.
Oh yeah. Brian B says, "I'm not commenting on that one. I hope loses by 5 pounds."
Yeah, that's a bad one, Brian B. But that's true, though. I mean,
that's what Brian B lost to Creole by.
I see him today. He was fishing with the river. What do they call
Mississippi River Rats.
Mississippi River Rat. Now his dad caught like a 50-something pounder today.
We got Turtle Lady in the house. Welcome in.
Oh, Turtle Lady. I think he caught a 52 pounder, 53. His dad
did. I think it was a 53.5 pound.
Yeah, his dad did. Yeah, it's a nice fish.
The Mississippi ain't no joke. But
that's what they call the blues. They swear them down. That's where they come from, Mississippi blues. Supposedly that's what my uncles told me all my life. Blue catfish originated from Mississippi blues. From Mississippi, they call them Mississippi blues.
Where's that stick? There it is.
I just tell them what I said. That's what they told me.
Danimal's Creation says, if you guys haven't seen Dom and myself catch our PBs, watch our live with El Gato from yesterday, 34.5
El Gato?
Dom got a 51 pound.
Wow. El Gato's been on fire.
Oh, yeah. El Gato and his son?
Yeah, they've been on fire.
They've been wrecked.
Yeah, I think his son got the lake record. Junior lake record, a week, 2 weeks, about a month ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was. His son broke the record. That was they catch some nice quality fish. They're in Texas, ain't they?
Who?
Are they in Texas?
Creole, he's in Louisiana.
I know he's in Louisiana, but Agato, where's he at?
Texas.
Yeah.
I didn't know who you were talking about. I'm like,
I don't know where he fishes at in Texas, but that's some nice blue cat. They've been catching quality blue cat, him and his boy.
Paula, she fishes in Tennessee, so
right.
That river.
You never know what there. Wherever she's fishing at in Tennessee, it's got some hogs in it.
Oh
She catches some nice fish.
Yeah, Gato is in Louisville, Texas.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where he's at. I know I spent July in Houston, Texas, and that was the hottest place I've ever been in my life.
Oh,
If it wasn't hot, it was raining. It rained and it was hot. I worked on the port of Houston. It was 110, 115 degrees every day. I was glad to get that job done and get out of there.
heck, you had to do the job basically every nighttime. Because during the day you'd die of heat exhaustion.
Oh yeah, it was miserable there.
And
I'll tell you another place gets hot like that, Kansas City, Kansas. It gets hot out there. I worked out there at a place where they make Cheez-Its. I worked at the Cheez-It factory out there.
Yeah.
There's a big system out there. And tell you something, it gets hot in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot in Louisiana, Florida.
But Texas is a dry climate state.
Yes, it is. And I tell you, when I was in Houston, just like I said, it started raining every day. It started raining every day at 11:30, and it rained for a half hour and quit. Then it dried.
And then it gets hot down at Chattahoochee too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Down south, it gets hot down Louisiana.
Hotter than a hoochie coochie. That's what he says.
Yeah, it does get hot. Yeah. Down south.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like it where we live at. I like the snow and the cool. I couldn't handle living in Florida or somewhere like that. You'd die in Florida. Oh, it's hot. I'm dying.
I died in Texas.
Yeah, you come out there to Texas. Oh my God, it's hot.
okay, so tell us how bad you're going to whip John Parker.
How about am I gonna whip John Parker? Well, he's gonna cheat. He already said 6 poles, and y'all seen that, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I can only use 3.
Why?
Hasn't done my steak.
I'm your Joey. I can throw the 3 out.
That's cheating. That's cheating. I don't want
Okay,
no
well,
man
you don't
helping
need
me.
3.
I don't want no man helping me.
Okay. Ooh, we don't want no man helping you. You heard that?
No comment.
I ain't saying that.
Got this into a pickle.
She can grab his base cast and throw them just with the best of them. Trust me. She knows how to do it.
Yeah.
She's been fishing all of her life.
I had stringers tied to my britches when I was little, so I wouldn't fall in.
Yeah. Yep. She's fished all of her life.
Then I used to live up in Columbus at Buckeye Lake.
Yeah.
Did a lot of fishing up there,
You
swimming,
and your brother, you scout in
carp fished, and yeah.
you just got there and fished in a boat. You thought you had a big boat and had
We had a little cement mixer. We said,
a little.
I told my mom, we told our mom, it's like, we're going out in our boat. And my mom's like, what boat? And she came over and looked. She's like, that's a cement mixer. You guys can't be out in that. We took it out. Little square cement mixer.
How big was you though? Well, was you 10, 8,
Yeah, 9 or 10.
9 or 10? Yeah.
Many years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Many.
Well, we're going on 2 hours, and I know you guys are tired, and you guys probably want the rest.
Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
I hope everybody enjoyed herself. Anybody got any question about time flies, just send me a message on my YouTube channel, and I'll get back to you.
I have to get you and Don R up here, and my co-host, she likes time flies. Get you 3 up here time flies.
Yeah, it's relaxing. I love doing it. I like trying to make my own up, and I watch how people do different stuff. Biggest thing is learning how to get learn how to use that whip tool and just designing different stuff and learning.
Yeah,
I like the foam. I like the ones that look realistic because that's what the fish go after.
yeah.
I like crappie fishing and bluegill fishing, honestly, but I love cat. There's nothing like catching a cat.
I spend more time catching bait than I do catfishing.
You will, but I got it right here is my bait catcher. She can smoke the bluegill.
With them.
Oh,
Yes, she does. Here's her little whipping. She calls it her whipping stick, and she can catch. Yeah, I got. She got a spot. I drop her off because you can't park down there. I drop her off, and she'll catch. About 5 minutes later, she'll wave at me, and it's all over. Come and get her. She'll have 20 or 30 of them.
I have
Like-
this one lake I can go to for bluegill, and if I catch kept every bluegill I caught, I'd have 200 bluegills within an hour.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It don't take once you find out where they're at and what they're eating on, you tear them up.
Hey, John, I do got something for you. This right here.
Don't give him that idea. He
Cry
may,
your little eyes out when you get whipped. And then, wipe your little rear after you fart.
Damn it.
Excuse me.
he might need something a little bit more heavier and dudier than that.
Yeah. I don't think that's too. I think that's the cheap toilet paper. Probably need triple ply.
Daryl.
Well,
Try to be nice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, you guys watch that ladies tournament, and Brian B., you're going down by Missy. Now remember that. You are going down by Missy.
Oh yeah.
John Parker, you're going down, baby. Yeah.
Appreciate you for having me on here. I've enjoyed myself. I hope people enjoyed yourself.
thank you, Daryl. Thank you.
Hey, no
Thanks.
problem. Anytime. Appreciate you having me on here. See you guys later.
See you
God
guys.
bless everybody.
See ya and have a good night and tight line.
You too.
Ta-ta.